Welcome back to A Little in the Dark, the podcast where we dive into the bizarre and mysterious cases that keep you up at night. I'm Noah.
And I'm Hannah. Today we're tackling a truly strange story, one that blurs the lines between crime and comedy. It's the mysterious case of the Hamburglar.
You might be wondering, the Hamburglar? The McDonald's character? Yep, that's right. But the story we're sharing today is much darker than you might think. First, let's take a step back. The Hamburglar made his debut in 1971 as part of the McDonaldland universe. Designed to promote McDonald's burgers, with his striped outfit and mischievous smile, he became a staple of childhood.
But what's fascinating is how this character has evolved. Initially, he was more of a playful trickster, but over the years, his antics took on a more sinister tone. Some fans even speculate about a hidden, darker side to his character.
Exactly. In the early 2000s, the character was revamped and seemed to take a turn towards the more rebellious and elusive persona. And this is where our story really begins.
In 2015, McDonald's reintroduced the Hamburglar in a new ad campaign, but this time he was portrayed as a suave, mysterious figure. The marketing team aimed for a more adult audience, hinting at a deeper narrative.
Right. The ads featured the Hamburglar in a sleek, almost James Bond-like fashion, sneaking around at night, wearing a stylish outfit, and stealing burgers with charm rather than menace. It was a stark departure from his original persona.
This change was part of a larger strategy to refresh the brand and attract a millennial audience. They wanted to tap into nostalgia while also creating something new and edgy. But did they realize the potential for darker interpretations?
As the campaign rolled out, social media exploded with reactions. Fans began to reinterpret the Hamburglar's character, leading to all sorts of memes and discussions. Some even saw him as a rebel against the corporate fast food machine, quote unquote, while others just found the whole concept hilarious.
And it didn't stop there. The hashtag Hamburglar started trending, with users posting everything from funny photoshops to commentary on consumer culture. The character quickly became a viral sensation.
This was also when various theories began to emerge online. People started to speculate that the Hamburglar was more than just a fictional character. He represented a kind of anti-consumerism. The ideal of stealing burgers became a symbol for resisting corporate greed.
Some even linked his character to broader cultural frustrations, like the feeling of being trapped in a monotonous, consumer-driven society. It's a classic case of a brand character taking on a life of its own.
And it's interesting to think about how much the character's portrayal influenced public perception. The Hamburglar went from being a silly figure to a symbol of rebellion. People started to see him as kind of a trickster hero, challenging the norms of fast food culture.
This reinterpretation drew in various demographics. Millennials and Gen Z in particular resonated with the idea of poking fun at corporate culture. It created a community that shared not just jokes, but also critiques of the fast food industry as a whole.
Some users even started creating parody accounts dedicated to the Hamburglar, portraying him as a misunderstood anti-hero of sorts, fighting against the evils of fast food. This kind of engagement showcases how brands can be both celebrated and scrutinized simultaneously. In fact, it was such an issue that we have an interview here from the police chief of McDonaldland.
Quiet down. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here today. I want to address a matter that may seem lighthearted but carries serious implications. The suspicious and mysterious behavior of the Hamburglar, a case that we've been working on for quite a while. While he appears to be a playful character from a fast food franchise, we must examine his actions more closely. The Hamburglar's constant threat of theft of burgers, raises important questions about morality. Is he just a lovable rogue, or does he promote a troubling attitude towards stealing? His methods, equally concerning. What we know about this character is that he sneaks around in the shadows, much like a common burglar, and by glorifying such behavior, are we sending the wrong message? Particularly to our children. Speaking of which, many young viewers are introduced to the Hamburglar through cheerful advertisements. But normalizing theft, even in a comedic context, can blur the lines of right and wrong. And we have a responsibility to teach our children about ethics. And finally, while the Hamburglar has evolved into a symbol of rebellion against corporate greed, yada, 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 we must be cautious. Are we endorsing a narrative that glamorizes theft under the guise of humor? So be careful, reflect on what you're sending through popular culture, social media, and as your police chief, I urge everyone to be vigilant, ensure that we foster an understanding of right and wrong in the next generation, and just watch your burgers. Thank you. No further questions.
It's a fascinating commentary on how modern marketing strategies can backfire or take unexpected turns. McDonald's may have intended to create a nostalgia, but they unintentionally ignited a cultural phenomenon that had both humorous and serious implications.
And as the Hamburglar's persona shifted, so did public interactions with the character. Fast food culture became a point of discussion, not just about convenience or taste, but about health, ethics, and environmental impact.
This blending of nostalgia, humor, and social commentary created a unique space where people could express their dissatisfaction with consumerism while also enjoying a good laugh at the antics of a cartoon character.
And it's in this space that the Hamburglar truly thrived, transforming from a simple mascot to a multifaceted cultural icon. And here's when it gets really interesting. Around the same time the new Hamburglar was introduced, there was a spike in fast food robberies across the country. Some of these robberies had peculiar similarities to the antics of our favorite burger thief.
Reports started pouring in of thieves dressed in black and white stripes, often wearing masks reminiscent of the Hamburglar. It was like he had come to life, but not in the way that McDonald's had intended.
One notorious incident occurred in 2016 when a masked burglar broke into McDonald's in California. He was caught on security cameras mimicking the Hamburglar's iconic sneaky movements, and, of course, the bizarre footage went viral.
That's right, and the police were baffled. Witnesses reported that the thief not only stole cash, but also made off with several bags of burgers. The whole thing felt like a scene straight out of a cartoon.
This wasn't an isolated event, though. Reports indicated similar thefts in other states, with some culprits even leaving behind notes that played on the Hamburglar theme. One note read, "Thanks for the burgers. I'll be back for fries."
That's both funny and alarming. It shows how deeply the character has embedded itself in the public psyche. But why are these crimes happening at fast food places in particular?
That's a good question. Fast food restaurants are often targeted because they have cash on hand, and the nature of the business means they're open late, making them easier targets. But the Hamburglar angle, that adds a bizarre twist to the motivation.
It's almost as if these criminals were using the Hamburglar as a justification for their actions. A kind of sick Robin Hood complex, where they saw themselves as rebels against a corporate machine.
And that creates a weird kind of cultural commentary. The Hamburglar became a symbol for those disenchanted with consumer culture as society grappled with rising costs and corporate greed, and stealing burgers became a darkly humorous rebellion.
It's fascinating how a character meant to entertain children turned into a figure of real-life rebellion and crime. The media, in particular, well, they played a big role in amplifying this.
Of course, the media couldn't resist. News outlets had a field day with headlines like, "The Hamburglar strikes again." This led to more sightings and inspired copycat crimes across the nation.
Yes, it became a phenomenon. Part crime spree, part pop culture event. But it raises an interesting question. How does a fictional character inspire real-world criminal behavior?
I believe it taps into our collective consciousness. The Hamburglar, in a way, symbolizes rebellion against the mundane, a rage against the machine, if you will. And for some reason, that manifests in criminal acts.
The cultural impact was profound. The idea of the Hamburglar as a symbol for anti-consumerism gained traction in various online communities, with memes and art celebrating this rogue character.
And in the age of social media, the Hamburglar became a viral sensation, not just as a marketing character, but again as sort of an anti-hero. Artists and influencers began creating content that reinterpreted him as a figure of rebellion against fast food culture.
One particularly striking piece depicted the Hamburglar as a graffiti artist, spray painting messages about corporate greed while clutching a burger. This kind of art just seemed to resonate with many people, tapping into a broader sense of disillusionment.
You know, it's interesting to see how the character transformed from a simple thief to a complex symbol. People started using the Hamburglar to voice their frustrations, whether about fast food, consumerism, or even broader social issues.
And it wasn't just art. Memes started flooding social media. The Hamburglar was often featured alongside commentary about food insecurity, capitalism, and the struggle against corporate monopolies. It became a way for people to express their dissatisfaction, but humorously.
And some even began to identify with the Hamburglar, viewing him as a cheeky representation of their own struggles. He became sort of a folk hero in online communities, celebrated for, quote-unquote, stealing from the big corporations.
It's a testament to how a character originally designed for marketing can evolve into something much more meaningful. The Hamburglar's legacy shifted from promoting burgers to critiquing the very culture that created him.
That's a powerful evolution. And as we see today, cultural symbols can take on lives of their own, reflecting the complexities of society.
The Hamburglar serves as a perfect example of this phenomenon. From playful mascot to rebellious icon, he embodies a narrative that resonates with many, one that mixes humor with a critique of modern life.
So, what do we take away from this? What's the takeaway here? The Hamburglar started as a lighthearted character, but over the years he transformed into something much more complex, a cultural icon reflecting society's frustrations.
I think it's a reminder of how easily fiction can intersect with reality and how a simple character can inspire a wave of commentary and even crime.
The Mysterious Case of the Hamburglar is a complete work of fiction.
Yeah.
Do not take anything you just heard from that as reality.
But, you know.
He's always seemed like a bad seed to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we wanted to test this out, as we've always dreamed of being true crime podcasters, and so we wanted to test this out, and so we wrote a script up, and we just went
had
with
fun
it.
with
Yep,
it.
we just went with it. So this is another. This is actually our first bonus episode of A Little Off the Top with your hosts,
Hannah
and Noah. Oh, excuse me, wrong branding. A Little in the Dark.
Yeah.
Happy spooky season to all of you. I hope you enjoyed this weird little thing that we did. If you did enjoy it, share it with your friends. Rate it 5 stars, and if they didn't enjoy it,
Just
what do they do?
Ignore it.
That's
Just
right.
Keep scrolling.
That's
There's
right.
Lots and lots and lots of podcasts to choose from.
There's a million out there. Go listen to another one and share this one with someone you think would like it.
Yeah.
But that'll do it for another episode of A Little Off the Top. Bye-bye.
Bye.